Some people carry marks that cannot be seen with the eyes. They are sensations, perceptions, silent signals. Among these marks, there is one that stands out: the marks on the hands. We are not talking about physical signs, but subtle, spiritual, and energetic signals. If you feel something different in your palms, in your fingers, or in touch, perhaps this video is a mirror for you. The power of healing is not for everyone. It reveals itself to those who have been through a lot, but chose not to harden their heart. Those who, even when wounded, extend their hands. Who feel when something is wrong. Who hold other hands with the intention to relieve, and not just comfort. These people are the chosen ones, and often, the gift begins in the hands. If you have noticed heat, tingling, heaviness, or inexplicable energy in your palms, if you have felt that your hands vibrate or relieve another's pain, perhaps this is not a coincidence. Perhaps this is the beginning of activating your healing gift. Today you will discover 7 marks that appear on the hands of the chosen ones. They are clear signs that you have a calling, a mission, a gift to be awakened. And if you identify with them, know the power of healing is already in you. It only needs to be activated with consciousness and love. Now subscribe to the channel now. This content is for those who know they have been marked. It's for you. You may have lived years trying to understand why you feel so much, why the world's pains seem to strike your chest. The truth is, you were designed for this. There is something in you that was not activated by human choice. It was placed there even before you were born, and the time has come to awaken. Hands that burn from nowhere. This heat in the hands does not appear for nothing. It comes when there is a need around. Even if no one says anything, you feel. It's as if your body catches what the mouth does not speak. People with this gift usually perceive pains that others do not see. And the heat is the spirit's response saying, "I'm here, ready." Many healers don't even know they have this gift. They spend years trying to understand why they feel this heat, why their hands seem to awaken in intense moments. There is no recipe or pattern. Sometimes it happens in the street, at work, in the middle of a conversation. It's as if the hand becomes a silent torch, ready to illuminate someone. The most beautiful thing is that this heat doesn't hurt. It embraces, it surrounds. If you have touched someone, and the person said, "I felt something different," take that seriously. That touch may have been more healing than 1,000 words. Because when there is love involved, the heat becomes relief, and the touch turns into care. Many think the gift of healing is only for great healers or mystics. But the truth is that healing happens in the simple, in the touch of a sincere hand, in the calm gesture of someone who only wants to help. This heat in the hands is not just energy. It is a call, a reminder that you carry a special gift. Some people feel this heat and ignore it. They think it's psychological or that they're exaggerating. But you who feel it know, there is something more. And you don't need to understand everything. Just accept that this is one of the oldest signs of the spiritual world. Burning hands are healing hands. They are hands that embrace the invisible and deliver light. Allow yourself to use this heat to do good. Place your hands on those in need, even if in silence. You don't need to have answers. You just need to be present with truth. This heat is the answer of your spirit to God's call. When it appears, trust. You are being used as a channel, and that is divine. Hands that tingle frequently. The tingling in the hands may seem uncomfortable at first. It's as if something is waking up inside you. Most people ignore this, thinking it's nervousness or circulation. But those with the gift of healing understand, over time, that this signal appears at the right moments, in the right situations, with a clear purpose. This tingling happens because energy begins to circulate more strongly. It is your body signaling that it is ready to act. Sometimes you haven't even touched anyone, but you already feel. This happens because the soul has already connected. The body only responds to what the spirit is feeling. It's as if your hands tune into pain even before the touch. You may notice this when you enter a charged environment. Your hands begin to pulse. Instead of fleeing, you focus. You realize that, even in silence, you can do something. A touch on the shoulder, a gesture, a word, and the energy flows. The tingling then passes. Because the energy was delivered. The gift was activated. The most amazing thing is that this gift does not require a stage. True healers do not need to be seen. They are discreet. They know that healing is in the detail. A hand that calms, an energy that cleanses, an intention that embraces. The tingling is like a soft alarm saying, now is the time. Someone needs you. Some feel it while praying. Others, when thinking of a specific person. There are those who feel it when recalling an old pain. Whatever the trigger, the signal is always the same. Your hands are alive. They vibrate, tremble, or throb because they are connected to something greater than the physical. They are tuned to the invisible. If you feel this, do not be afraid. Do not think there is something wrong. On the contrary, there is something very right happening inside you. This tingling is pure gift. It is your soul saying that it is ready to serve. Your hands are not just feeling, they are healing. Even if you do not yet fully notice, there is no manual. Each healer discovers their path with time, but the first step is always the same, recognizing the signs. And the tingling in the hands is one of the clearest ones. Energy does not lie, and when it moves, it is because healing is to be done. Your hands know. Listen to what they are saying. Hands that relieve others' pain. Have you ever touched someone and the person said they felt immediate relief? Have you held a hand and seen the person breathe better, calm down, even smile amid the pain? This is not just empathy. It is a gift. Your hands not only touch, they convey comfort. And the other person's body recognizes this presence. There are people who, when touching someone in suffering, feel a peace invade the environment. Sometimes you don't even need to touch. Simply being close already makes a difference. This cannot be explained with logic. It is the healer's soul communicating directly with others' pain. And when this connection happens, healing begins, slowly but real. Have you noticed that when someone is crying, you feel like touching the shoulder or holding their hand? This impulse is not random. It comes from inside, from a part of you that knows what to do, even without having learned. It is as if your hands already know where to act, to relieve what is hidden. This can also happen with strangers, a colleague, a distant friend, a stranger. You approach, place the hand with care, and something changes in the mood. It is subtle, but it is strong. This change is your energy in motion. Your hands activated something sacred. The touch became medicine, with no prescription, with no explanation. Healers with this mark do not always consider themselves healers. They think they are just being kind. But this is not ordinary kindness. It is a gift acting. It is healing being released by the mere act of being present with love. When you act with truth, your hands become a bridge between suffering and relief. Sometimes you feel exhausted afterward, as if you had given energy. This is normal. You really shared part of yourself. But don't worry. When done with sincere intention, this energy renews. What you give to another with love, the universe returns in the form of strength, clarity, and peace. This is not about being powerful. It is about being available. about hearing the silent call that comes from others' pain. Your hands don't need to be famous. They only need to be faithful to the mission. And if you notice that, when touching, the other person heals a little, then you are already an active healer, even without knowing. Use this gift responsibly, and never doubt what your hands can do when guided by real love. Hands that discharge emotional weight. Have you ever touched someone and felt a strange weight leaving the person? Or, after hugging someone, did you become emotionally exhausted, as if you had absorbed something that wasn't yours? This is also a clear mark on the hands of healers. They do not only touch, they discharge. They pull the weight without realizing it. What many don't understand is that emotional pain also has energy. When someone is distressed, anxious, or angry, that energy weighs. It accumulates in the body, even if invisible. And when you, as a healer, touch or embrace, this load seeks a new space, and your hands become the channel for it to exit. Have you noticed that, after taking care of someone, you feel like washing your hands, taking a bath, or being alone? This isn't fuss. It's your spiritual body asking for cleansing. Your hands acted as a channel of emotional discharge. And to continue healing, they need to renew themselves. The energy you carried needs to be dissolved. This gift can be tiring when it is not recognized. Many healers live tired without knowing why. They feel sadness that isn't theirs, cry for no reason, carry weights that don't come from their own history. When they learn that this comes from the hands, everything changes. Awareness brings protection, and protection releases lightness. There are people who feel better just by being near you. Others vent without you asking. It's because your presence is a field of healing, and your hands function as grounding. They receive the other's pain, and in silence, deliver it to the universe. That's why it's so important to take care of yourself. After an intense moment, it's good to wash your hands calmly, pray, or take a deep breath. This helps release what isn't yours. Healing others should not come at the cost of your health. And you were not called to carry everything. Your hands have the gift, but your heart needs rest too. This type of healing is silent, but it transforms lives. When you touch, and the other feels the weight leaving, it's because your soul is in action. Your hands are not only touching, they are rescuing. They are cleansing. They are healing. If this has happened to you, acknowledge it. You are not too sensitive. You are a channel. And what passes through your hands can change the world around you. Hands that receive visions or messages. Some chosen ones notice messages without sound. It's as if the hands speak. You touch a person and feel what they're going through. You touch an object and an image, a thought, a certainty comes. This doesn't come from the logical mind. It comes from the soul. And yes, this is rare. But for some, it's part of the natural gift of healing. It isn't madness, it's spiritual sensitivity. Your hands function as sensors that translate vibrations into information. You don't hear with your ears, but you understand with your heart. It can be an emotion, an alert, or a clear direction. You touch, and something inside you understands what needs to be done, or avoided. Has it happened to you to hold someone's hand and suddenly feel a tight chest, a lump in your throat, or even a mental image arise? This is your energetic field translating the other person's pain into signals you can decode. It's the universe speaking to you in a way only you understand. Many healers don't tell anyone about this. They find it strange, fear they'll seem exaggerated. But this is one of the most spiritual marks of the gift. It isn't always to speak what is felt. Sometimes it's just to know, to guide a gesture, a prayer, a care. True healing doesn't need a stage, only pure intention. This kind of sensitivity doesn't come with a manual. Each person feels in their own way. Some have short visions, others only feel a very clear sensation. Some have chills, others receive silent words. The important thing is to learn to trust. With time, you'll begin to recognize the language of your gift. The touch that brings a message is also the touch that directs healing. When you feel, you know where to act. Sometimes the person doesn't even need to tell you what they're going through. You sense it, with respect and discretion. It's as if the hands read the soul. And in this space of sacred reading, healing happens. When this mark appears in you, take good care of it. Do not use it to manipulate, nor to judge. Use it to help, to protect, to understand better who is in front of you. The hands that receive visions are not superior. They are responsible. Because with greater perception comes greater mission. So if this happens to you, receive it with love. Learn to trust your sensitivity. Your hands not only touch, they reveal. And every time a vision arises, ask, "How can I serve now?" This question turns the gift into a mission. And that is what makes you a true healer. Hands that instinctively seek the touch. Have you ever extended a hand to someone without thinking? Felt the urge to touch a sad shoulder, to hold the hand of someone who was nervous, to place a hand on the heart of someone anxious? This impulse is more than kindness. It is a spiritual instinct. It is your soul recognizing where it can release comfort and healing. This type of touch is not planned. It happens naturally, as if your body knew before the mind where the pain point is. It's as if your hands act on their own, guided by something greater. And when this happens frequently, it is a sign that you were created to heal with touch. This touch never invades. It respects. It offers itself. And even before you say anything, the other person already feels the relief beginning. Because the right touch, at the right time, is worth more than advice. It says, "I am here. You are not alone." And that alone is healing for many people. The healer's touch has no intention to dominate. It arrives with presence, with respect, with truth. That is why it works. Because the other person feels they are not being invaded, but welcomed. It is a small gesture, but full of light. It is the body saying what words cannot explain. If you notice that you have this impulse, go ahead. Honor this calling. Touching with pure intention is one of the most transformative gestures that exist. Your hands are not just there to hold. They are there to transmit, to bring what the other needs, even if they cannot explain it. With time, you will understand that this urge to touch always comes at the right moments. It's as if a higher force says, "Now it's your turn to help." And when you trust this instinct, miracles begin to happen. You don't need to draw attention. You only need to be present. This gift is simple but deep. It is quiet but powerful. And if your hands seek touch with love and truth, then you carry one of the most beautiful marks of the healer. The touch that eases without asking for anything in return. Hands that calm children, animals, and the elderly. Have you noticed that small children stop crying when you hold them? That animals approach without fear? That the elderly relax when you touch? This is not just kindness or affection. It's a mark. It's a silent gift that manifests in your hands. A clear sign that there is in you a naturally healing energy. These beings, children, animals, and the elderly, are highly sensitive. They are not impressed by appearances, status, or pretty words. They feel the energy in the air, in the touch, in the presence. And if they relax when you come near, it's because you are emitting something pure, something that brings peace, even before it is named. When a child stops crying in your lap, it is your vibration saying, "You are safe." When a dog approaches and lies at your feet, it is your energetic field offering shelter. When an elderly person holds your hand and sighs with relief, it is the touch saying, "You are not alone. This is the kind of healing that makes no noise but transforms. You may have never taken a course. You may not understand much about energy, chakras, or spirituality. And yet, your simple gestures ease those who feel most. This is not a coincidence. It is a gift in its purest state. And the more you recognize it, the stronger it becomes. You don't need to do more. You just need to be who you are. Soul healers often do not know how much they are healing, because they are simply being natural. They just reach out a hand, offer a shoulder, touch with care. But the effect of this is deep, because the most sensitive feel the intention before the touch. And your intention is clean, loving, available. That is why relief happens. Perhaps you don't understand why so many come to you to vent, why children want to be near you, why animals become calm in your presence. But all of this has a spiritual explanation. Your hands carry peace. And where there is peace, healing begins to happen, even in silence, even without words. This mark is one of the most subtle, and at the same time, most powerful, because it does not require technique nor effort. It happens when your soul is in harmony with the moment. And this inner state directly reflects in the hands. They not only touch, they transmit warmth, safety, presence. Those who carry this mark do not need to prove anything. They only need to be available. Because sometimes, the greatest act of healing is simply to be there, present, whole, with an open heart. And that is what your energy does. You arrive, and the environment reorganizes. Restlessness yields to silence. Fear yields to trust. If you have noticed this pattern in your life, embrace it with respect. Not as a burden, but as a gift. A discreet but necessary mission. Because in the world we live in, people who transmit calm have become a rare remedy. And you are this healing that walks, this peace that touches, this shoulder that silences. Trust what you carry. Your hands are not common. They are doors to something greater. And whenever someone calms at your touch, remember, you are not merely comforting. You are healing, with affection, with soul, with truth. This is the mark of the chosen. If you have come this far and recognized any of these marks on your hands, know one thing. This is not a coincidence. It is confirmation. Confirmation that the gift you carry is real, is alive, is necessary. You are not making things up. You are remembering who you are. You are waking the power that has always been there. For a long time, perhaps you have questioned yourself. Why do I feel this? Why do people come to me? Why do my hands react? And the answer is simple. Because you were chosen. Chosen to heal, to welcome, to transform. And this call has nothing to do with fame or title. It has to do with presence, with service, with soul. The power of healing does not need to be grand in human eyes. It is not measured by spotlights, nor by noise. It manifests in the right touch, at the right time, in the calm you convey, in the silence you carry, in the hug that arrives when no one else knows what to say. And all of this flows through your hands. Do not ignore the signs, the burning, the tingling, the urge to touch, the spontaneous gestures. All of this is your gift trying to say, I am ready. And when you accept this call, something changes. Your energy organizes itself. Your intuition widens. Your presence begins to heal even before you notice. The world is full of pain, and every person who carries the gift of healing is like a lighthouse in the midst of darkness, not to shine brighter, but to guide with more love. If your hands touch and people calm down, if animals approach, if children feel at peace with you, then you are already healing, even without knowing. And the best part is that you don't need to understand everything. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing. When you hand your hands to the good, to love, to truth, the rest happens naturally. Healing flows. Energy finds a path. The gift activates at levels you can't even imagine. Therefore, today I want to invite you to recognize what you carry. Honor your hands. Honor your touch. Honor the peace that your presence brings. Because this is rare, and it is real. You are not just another person. You are a channel, a portal, a chosen one. Now tell me, do you feel this power? Have you lived moments when your hands reacted in inexplicable ways? Have you seen someone calm merely by your presence? Have you felt something wanting to exit you, like an energy? Share in the comments. I want to hear your experience. This space is ours, a community of healers who are awakening. And when we share, we activate even more. When one chosen person recognizes the other, the path lights up. So leave here what you feel, what you live, what you've already noticed about your hands and your energy. Healing is infinite. But it begins when you recognize that you already carry everything you need to start. You are not alone. You were chosen. And the world needs what you carry.